Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Gadigal people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, June 8. In Squiz Kids Today, Xbox busted for data collection, the world's stinkiest fruit, alien spaceships here on Earth, and muscle poo to the rescue. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Hands up if you've ever played Xbox. Now, I can't see you on account of this being a podcast and all, but I'm guessing quite a lot of you have your hands up right now. Now, hands up if you've ever entered an email address or other personal information when signing up to play. Well, Microsoft, the company that owns Xbox, was yesterday ordered to pay a fine of almost $30 million for illegally collecting personal information from kids without their parents' consent. Illegal means it's against the law. In the United States, it's illegal to ask kids for personal information when signing up to play an online game and hanging on to that information. Now, that's a law that has been created to stop kids' personal data from being passed on to people who might use it to try to sell them other products or services. It's a timely reminder to be super careful what information about yourself that you share when you're online. Your personal information, be it your email address, your age, your phone number, or your actual address, should always be really carefully guarded and not handed out to anyone who asks for it, even if there's an exciting online game at the other end of it.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in China, where the world's stinkiest fruit is in high demand. Maybe you've heard of a fruit called the durian? Native to Southeast Asia, it has a spiky outer skin and soft white flesh inside. And it stinks to high heaven. The sort of stink that when someone eats it in public, people have been known to run and hide. The smell from the durian is so foul that in some countries it has been banned from being eaten on public transport or in hotels. But that hasn't stopped people in China from wanting to eat it. In fact, according to reports yesterday, farmers in the Chinese province of Hainan are planting thousands of acres of durian trees to meet what is expected to be surging demand in the years to come. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll stick to my oranges, thanks.
Animal Kingdom.
On the subject of all things stinky, here's a fascinating story about mussel poo. You know mussels, right? That funny little mollusk that attaches itself to rocks, plants, and other structures in the sea. Maybe you've eaten a mussel from your local seafood shop. Well, now it turns out that mussels might just be the answer to cleaning up the tons and tons of microplastics that are in the world's oceans. New research has found that mussels ingest microplastics and then poop them back out into the water. You see, mussels eat by sucking in water and filtering out nutrients. Scientists have found that when mussels suck in water filled with microplastics, the tiny plastic particles get wrapped up in mussel poop and, when they pop out the other end, sink to the bottom. That means the plastics don't enter the digestive system of other marine life and, in mussel poo form, they're much easier to collect and remove from our waterways. Genius! It's the Classroom Companion Clarion, letting us know that Christy has created 3 excellent worksheets tied to this item in the podcast. And today's worksheets are all about the wonderful world of poo. According to Christy, poo gets a bad rap. It does some amazing things. Your job today is to design an advertising campaign to make poo more popular. Plus, you'll find in the Classroom Companion today some literacy activities relating to the durian fruit. It's the stinky edition of Classroom Companions. If you're a teacher and want to take advantage of these free worksheets for your classroom, make sure you've signed up to Squiz Kids Classrooms via our website, squizkids.com.au, because we like to give.
Spaced out.
Have you ever looked up into the night sky at all the stars and galaxies out there and wondered if we're not alone? For as long as humans have stared at the skies, the question of whether alien life forms exist has preoccupied us. And now there's apparently proof, with claims this week by a former intelligence officer that the US government has alien spaceships it has been hiding from the world. Now, with our Newshounds hat on, we know that when it comes to things like UFOs and alien encounters, we have to be extra careful about who we listen to and how seriously we take what they're saying. But sensible news outlets are this week reporting that the person making the alien spaceship claim is in fact credible, and that it's not just the United States that has secretly collected alien spaceships over the years, but other countries too. So, what's a UFO? UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object, and it's a catch-all term for any unexplained flying craft in our skies. So, is this story true? Who knows? But the idea that there might be aliens on other planets or in different galaxies sure is fun to think about. And after all, there are entire Star Wars and superhero and Guardians of the Galaxy style movie franchises built around that very idea. The truth may well indeed be out there.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What's the name of the stinky fruit popular in China and other parts of Southeast Asia? Yeah, that's right, it's a durian. Question number 2. Which marine animal's poop could solve the ocean's microplastic problem? Yeah, that's right, it's the mussel. Question number 3. What does UFO stand for? That's right, it stands for Unidentified Flying Object. Well done!
Shout-outs.
It's June 8. Today is World Oceans Day. So, whether you're near one or not today, stop and think about how incredible they are and how important it is to look after them. It's also National Best Friend Day, so be sure to give yours a hug today. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Manon from Austinmere, Bo from Hawkesbury, Tyson from Unanderra, Addison from Woongarra, Kotoyo from Brisbane, Jaya from Maylands, Benjamin from Spring Mountain, Madison from Cannon Hill, Alicia from Yass, Henry from the Central Coast, Lila from Clairvaux, Sigma from Blacktown, Elsa from Arundel, and twins Bob and Brenda, who are listening all the way over there in China, and Vida, who's listening all the way over there in Singapore. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Maggie from Clairvaux, Elle from Sydney, Henry from New South Wales, Aliet from Andrews Farm, and Bilal from Plumpton. And finally, today's classroom shout-outs go to Class 3-4B and Mrs. Brown, and Class 5A and Ms. Archer at Ellamore Vale Public School, Class LA9 and Mr. Upfold at Atwell Primary School, Mrs. Welling's class at Yarrawitch Public School, Class 6 Red with Miss Van Der Zee at Bethany Catholic Primary School in Penrith, Class 3-4 Rose and Miss Page at Hornsby North Public School, and finally to the 5-6 Sharks with Miss Murad at Campbell Field Public School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.